Hello traders, this is day 17, 18, and 19 of my small cap market open test trading plan trading. What does that mean? I am trading one single share with a plan that I've written to trade small cap stocks at the market open. Small cap stocks are notoriously volatile and unpredictable, so I've written a plan that I think is going to be able to negate that volatility and that unpredictability, and we're about 30 trades into it, and we are slightly profitable at this point. We've been kind of hovering around break even for most of the plan, which is also a good sign because we've been able to take a lot of trades and not put the account at risk. The other way we are reducing our risk is we're only trading with one single share. We are using real money because when you paper trade, you're going to artificially boost your results and your confidence as a trader. So I find it much more helpful to use real money but trade just one single share to keep that risk reduced as much as possible. So one thing I want to say before I go into the trades is the last 2 days, I wasn't really prepared to trade time-wise. Definitely didn't have time to make any videos. And that's something I would strongly recommend against doing if you're a newer trader, or even if you've been trading a while and you're just trying to be as disciplined and professional about your trading as possible. There's no reason to take any chances and try to eke out a trade when you don't really have time to go about your trading in the right way. So you should have a set time where you begin your trading day. That doesn't mean the moment that you open up your platform and start looking for trades. That means the moment that you start preparing to trade, reading your trading plan, coming up with a plan for the day. If you do have, individual plans for the day, things like that. Don't just sit down, open up the platform and, okay, let me see what opportunities are out there and start jumping into trades. That is not professional trading. So let's take a look at the screener and I'll show you how I pick these stocks that I trade. And the reason why I just said all of that stuff was because I didn't really do that the previous 2 days. And yeah, in the back of my mind, I know I'm only trading with one share and all that kind of stuff, but it's not recommendable. And I'm just lucky that the trades did work out, and I am going to show you them and record them on the plan because they did work according to the plan, and that's really what I'm trying to do right now, is to prove this plan profitable or unprofitable. So here's my small cap screener. Always click those 3 little dots and click modify, otherwise your filters will not be applied. And then click on volume. This is what I do. I click on volume to organize the list by volume, so I'm only looking at the highest volume stocks traded. And I only look at the ones on the first page. I won't scroll down and look at other stocks. We are now toward the end of the day, end of the trading day. I didn't have time to make this video earlier, but when I'm trading, it's right at the market open. So everything looks quite a bit different. And there are stocks up here that were not even there when I was trading. But what I'm looking for at the open is 500,000 shares or more, and I want to see them green, going up in price. I want to see 5% change or better. And other than that, everything else is kind of built into the filters. Then I look for certain chart criteria, and we'll see that in the video. So here's the first trade. This is the trade that I took on Monday. It was a one and done trade, but again, on Monday, I wasn't really prepared to trade, and I just decided to do what I told you just not to do, which was to sit down and see if there was something that met my plan. And I got into the trade, and I screwed up the entry. And the only reason I recorded this trade into my spreadsheet was because even the ideal entry, both entries worked. This error entry that I took and the ideal entry that was according to my plan worked with a big margin of error. So again, I am trying to collect data for this plan more so than my own performance as a trader. So that is how I'm justifying it. But I'll show you all the mistakes that I made so that we can learn from them together. So first of all, let's go over these lines, what they mean, and how I put them in the wrong place on this day. So, excuse me. This first line, this first yellow line, signifies that the stock has broken out through the previous high. That could be a high made in the pre-market, the aftermarket, or the previous day. I want to see that level broken. That's my first criteria that must be met before I can even think about taking a trade. Then I need to mark out the first high of day. I've marked it out right here, but it's actually up here where this white line is, and that's where I made the mistake. So once that first high of day is met, then I want to see the price break that level. And that did happen over here. So my white line would have gone here. And then that's when I am signaled to look for an entry. So once the second high of day is established, then I just need to wait for a pullback, which happened over here. My ideal entry would have been for the break of this red candle here. So I would have gotten in on this green candle. As it broke above this red candle, my stop loss would have been the low of this red candle just below it. So this would have been my position. Stop loss here, entry here, and then my 2-hour target would have been twice that price difference. So somewhere around here-ish, I guess. I mark it out in just a moment on the chart. And you'll see that that target got hit, and so did this target that's appearing right now, 1276, that also got hit eventually without getting stopped out. So that trade would have worked, but I did move the profit target down to where it would be for this ideal entry because I realized, okay, I totally screwed up this trade and entered in the wrong place. And even that is really not a great thing to do. I think if you make an error on your entry, you really should just leave the profit target at 2R according to your original entry and then deal with the consequences. That's really the best thing to do. So I think what happens is as this trade plays out, I do stop recording because I didn't think that I was going to record this trade on my spreadsheet, and I'll show you the orders in Webull so you can see that this trade did work out and I didn't get stopped out on it. But the video ends before the trade ends. So let me show you the orders in Webull. So again, this was on Monday, so that's October 11th, as you can see in the timestamp on the video. So we'll look at those orders right now on Webull. So let's see, placed time and filled time. So there's October 11th. So that's BTBT. So there's where I bought. 1240 was where I was filled. So the same thing that you saw in the video. And then my stop loss got canceled because the profit target got hit at 1268, which you see right here. So you can see that trade did end up working out. Again, it wasn't a great trade because I was not really prepared for trading that day. But it is a trade, or I should say that that ticker symbol did give a 2-hour trade that met my planned criteria exactly. So I did record that on the spreadsheet because we're trying to judge how well this plan works, not so much how well my trading is going. So anyway, hopefully that makes sense. Let's take a look at the next trade on the next day. So this one had a couple of errors as well. It wasn't the same situation as Tuesday, but I did make a couple mistakes here that I'll point out to you. Now, this is something interesting, and you see here the difference between the difference that a day makes really is that on Tuesday there was a ton of opportunities according to my screener. So you can see there's a lot of ticker symbols here on my charts page. But the beauty of this plan, the thing that I like so much about this plan is that it doesn't allow you to jump into trades right away. There's so many criteria that must be met on the chart, things that must happen in the price action on the chart before you can take an entry, that it keeps you from doing too much impulsive trading. And that's a great thing because that's how we get into trouble. So I'm just making my previous high lines and high of day lines and just waiting for things to play out. I think TIPT was the one that met my chart criteria first. So let's take a look. I'm going to fast forward all the way until my entry because then I pull it up onto one large chart. But you can see how many ticker symbols I had up that I was watching. But many of them were not working out. They were not meeting the chart criteria that must be met throughout the day. So even though there's a lot of ticker symbols up, there was really only two possible trades here, TIPT and BBIG. So I took TIPT, and let's see it on the big chart. So this one, I made a mistake where I placed my 2-hour profit target. You'll see that in just a moment. But let's talk about the entry. Again, here's our previous high, which was broken right here. And then immediately the price pulls back and then makes a new high on this oh, sorry, where is it? Okay, so here's the break of the previous high, which is this yellow line. And then the first high of day is really the top of this candle. I did place this yellow line slightly off. I think when it was on the multi-chart page, it looked like it was in the right place. Yeah. So I think it was just because I couldn't see it at this resolution. So this yellow line is supposed to be on the top of that candle, marking out the high of day. and that level was broken on this candle, making the second high of day. Again, this is a little bit off. It should be right at the top of this candle, but all of the chart criteria are met. That's the main thing, and they're met properly. So now we have made a second high of day, and we've pulled back, and then I get in for the break of this red candle here, the first 1 minute candle that makes a new high after the pullback from the second high of day. So that's where I'm at here with that 1356. I got in a little bit low. I did wait until this candle broke, but the price often oscillates around that point. So sometimes you get filled a little bit low, and that's what happened here. And then my stop loss goes just below the low of this candle, and my 2-hour calculator, if you were watching, showed a profit target of 1382, but I misplaced the order on the chart, and then once I realized that happened, I moved it into place, but the price had already broken through that first profit target. There you could see 1382, so I actually got filled a little higher than my 2-hour profit target, which is fine. But again, it was like kind of a silly mistake. That these kind of things happen when you don't really have the proper time or focus on your trading, and that's the main point I was trying to make in the beginning is, you just shouldn't be trading when this happens. I just got lucky that both of these trades actually did work out. So let's take a look at today's trade, which was more of my usual trading scenario where I do have time to trade. And let's see what happened here. So we have a few stocks that popped up early, and SLI was the one that I ended up trading. So actually, look at this. SLI was on my chart page, and then I removed it. Why? Because it fell off of the first page of the screener. So it was somewhere down here at the bottom of my page. Right here, you see where it is right now. It was right at the edge of my page. And again, it may seem arbitrary, but it's not. I mean, you have to have lines drawn where you're willing to take a trade on something and where you say, okay, that's enough. Too many things are going against it now. I'm not going to look for a trade. And one of my criteria is if the stock is not on the first page when the list is organized by volume, because if it falls off the first page, that just means it's trading with lower volume than all the other stocks, and I don't want to trade it at that point. So that's what happened with SLI, but it popped back up on that first page. And when it did, I pulled it back up on my chart page, and that's when I saw, okay, now it's getting ready to trigger an entry. So there is the previous high, the first high of day, and now that white line is showing the second high of day. So I just need to take an entry on the first 1 minute candle that makes a new high after a pullback from that second high of day. And that's what we're looking at right now. So I am hovering over this candle. Oops, let me get back to where I'm hovering over it. And I think the high is 907. So I'm looking for 908 or better on this green price bubble. I don't think it happens on this candle. I think it happens on this one. So now this candle here is, the high is 906, I believe. So I'm looking for 907 or better. And something else interesting happened on this one. You'll see that the price bubble never moved. I'll show you this in real time so you can see what I saw. The price bubble never moved, and eventually the candle did show that it broke out above it there. You could see right there. Obviously, it hit 907, but I never saw it on the price bubble. And again, that's kind of one of my criteria. I need to see that breaking price on the price bubble, and I didn't see it. Once I did, then I took the trade. I got filled at 909, so a couple cents slippage. Not a big deal on a $10 stock. 2 cents isn't much at all. And now my stop loss, that's the most important thing, is to get that stop loss in place very quickly. And that way you save yourself if the stock flushes down against you. That didn't happen here. And now I'm using my 2-hour calculator. If you're interested in the 2-hour calculator or my spreadsheets or any plans or anything like that, I have it all available at patreon.com/tradingarmor. So now that we have our 2-hour profit target, we can move the profit target in place. And I'll switch this to one large chart. That way I'm not distracted by any other charts. And if these trades do stop me out, I have to get back in up to 2 more times to see if they work out. But again, we didn't have to do that today. SLI hit my 2-hour profit target. You'll see that in just a moment. It is on video. And not only did it hit the 2-hour profit target, but it also hit the 3-hour profit target. So that's a good thing. I'm recording all of that on the spreadsheet. And again, as I said, I'll show you the results at the end of the week. On Sunday, I release a video of my previous week's results. So let's just watch this thing hit the profit target. So at 923, again, once you're in the trade and you know that your profit target is in the right place, meaning that you've calculated 2R and you have placed it properly, then just leave it there. Do not move it. There is no excuse for moving your profit target on a good trade. And now we see the profit target get hit and we're all done with the trade. Again, as I said, this thing did go to 3R. That doesn't always happen. In fact, it's not happening as often as 2R is getting hit, and right now I'm more profitable holding to 2R than 3R, but we're only 30 trades or so into this plan, so that could change, and we're tracking all of that data so that when this is over, we know whether or not the best thing is to hold to 2R or 3R. So anyway, hopefully this video was helpful to you. Sorry if it was a little long. I had to go over 3 different trades from 3 different days, but just trying to pack in all of the information that I can that can help newer traders. So as always, my recommendation is, first of all, don't even begin to trade unless you have the right mindset and you have the time to focus on trading. It's what I did on Monday, especially Monday, is just not a good idea to do for anybody, including myself. And once you have decided, okay, today is a day where I can focus 100% on trading, make sure that you have a trading plan and you go into every single trade following that plan 100%. Once you're in the trade, you stick to that plan no matter what. You always take your stop losses, honor your profit targets, and in the long run, you should be green. Take care.